Hey friends, Andrew Walton here, and thank you so much for joining me for the first episode of Marketing Sins, my new show where I will be looking at different ways that businesses pointlessly throw away money and throw away sales and help them fix it. So today we're going to be looking at the landing page of one business that has been showing me the same Facebook ads or series of Facebook ads for probably the last 6 months to a year or so, and I figured if they're so incessant about not capping their ad frequency and blowing some cash this way, well, there's probably some more of that happening on their landing page. So let's take it over to the screen and have a closer look. All right, so what we have here is a landing page for a free 12-day online training course. And luckily for me, they are committing a whole plethora of marketing sins. So let's dive in and see what's going on. All right, so when a brand new visitor arrives on a landing page, or essentially any page for the first time, the thing that they want to know first, the two things they want to know first, are what is this about and why is it important to me? And I don't think you need me to tell you that one of those things is vastly more important than the other. For example, if I were to tell you that during this 12-day training you were to get 12 emails, 6 downloadable PDFs, 6 videos, and 3 webinars, would you sign up for that? Probably not, right? Getting people to take action is all about the why. And as you'll see, there is a bit of a lack of that on this page. That being said, of course, you do also have to talk about what it is you're actually offering. And as we'll see here, as you do see here, this is not executed in the best possible way. Let me just read this out. For example, join our free accelerated 12-day training. Okay, that's fine. That's a good start. So that is what it is. It's a 12-day training. About what? Okay, great. On this training, I'll discover the simple secrets to a lucrative workshop business. In these two lines, I should, if the copy is doing its job, already know everything I need to know about what this is. Now, we continue down the page. Uh-oh. Lucrative Luminary presents Wealth Through Workshops. So I get it that this is sort of either the company tagline or some sort of wording that they use a lot of the time because it's nice, it looks good, it sounds fun. The problem with it in this context is we're not introducing anything new, and that risks already in the third line of text losing the attention and the interest of the reader. Now, create your life-changing lucrative workshop, retreat, or seminar business. This does actually give us some more information. I think this is the best, most descriptive statement. So I would actually combine this first line with this last group of lines and say something to the effect of join our free 12-day training course and learn how to create your life-changing lucrative workshop, retreat, or seminar business. Then the rest of this is completely unnecessary. And then instead of having all this space taken up to describe simply what it is that's being offered, we free up a bunch of space and that can then use the exact same lines of text, the exact same space to describe why this is important. This would require some slight design changes, maybe making this header section a little bit deeper so you could fit all this text up into this section, but I think doing something like that would be worth it. Another option would be actually moving this down into this line here and having some more sort of branding elements up here, or possibly a call out to your audience. Even though in principle, if you've done your Facebook ad targeting correctly and the ad copy is good, you should already be targeting your target audience. It's never a bad idea to let them know that they're in the right place. So say, for example, if this is to complete beginners, they don't have any business, and this is more of a here's your opportunity to finally start making money in your own business, if it's that sort of audience that we're looking at, then you can have a call out to that audience. If it's someone who already has a business, a coaching practice, someone who sells information, then you might say something like, hey coaches, or hey entrepreneurs, or hey whomever. In any case, calling out that target audience up top, then having your headline in this section. Both ways can work, and both of those I think would be an upgrade over these 4 sections, all outlining an offer that could be made clear much more quickly. Before we move to the bullets, just taking a quick look up here. This is actually very important if we're talking about a live online training course, of course, we have to know what dates this is going to be taking place. This, I don't think, needs to be here exactly. While it is important to tell people what sort of format they're going to be getting, there are lots of other places that we could do this. Or if this is, for some reason, they deem that this is the best place for this, well, then I would definitely take it out of here, and you probably don't need it. Oh, here I guess is okay. This actually is probably the most sensible place to put this. This online program consists, yeah, there's going to be a better way to say this as well, because this doesn't sound high value. So this sounds like, oh, hey, we're gonna give you a lot of stuff, but it should probably be structured. I would give a little bit more of the structure. So say, okay, every day you're going to get an email with some specific valuable thing. You're going to get a video with some specific valuable training, the download of a daily action plan or whatever it happens to be. You can go deeper into this as well. In any case, sort of jumping ahead of myself, but this, let's see, yeah. So when we're talking about bullet points, just like we talked about when the person lands on the page, we're talking about what and we're talking about why. Bullet points are almost always why. Big emotional hot buttons and giving people reason to take action. Your absolute top reasons out of everything that you've compiled, the knowledge of your audience, the features of your offer. You have to turn those into really compelling emotional benefits that will get people to actually want to click on this button. This is something that if you go on Amazon or you have an e-commerce business, you'll see this problem all the time where people will list simply features of the offer. So if I'm selling, I don't know, Bluetooth headsets, it'll say something like we have a certain type of speaker and a lithium ion battery, when really we have to be talking about sound quality and how long the battery will last, and not just how long the charge will last, but how the battery will last 6 months from now, just almost as well as it does today, and then going in one level deeper and talking about how this will make your life better. The same thing goes here. Usually information marketers do a little bit better job of this, but in this case, these bullets are unfortunately probably costing a lot in terms of opt-in rate. These could be doing a much better service by talking about any sort of what are the benefits of this workshop. At this point, above the fold, I literally have no idea why I should care about signing up. And that's the main problem on this page. In order to get any sort of information about why I should care, I have to scroll down. If you look at heat mapping software, you'll often see that depending, of course, on the type of audience that you're targeting, their relationship with you, but for pages like this, you're often going to get 50% of the audience leaving without scrolling down. Obviously, there's variation with that, but you can expect that. You should be expecting that as a business owner at a minimum, and therefore trying to get as many people opting in as possible without scrolling. And then for those who do scroll, you have an opportunity to sort of clean up and maximize opt-ins for those who behave in that way. So this information here is important. I would actually put this below the date, say hosted by Callan Rush and Justin Livingston. Or you could even put this below, they could put this below their pictures here, possibly. In this particular design, it wouldn't really work. With a different design, you could conceivably do that, have your image or images of the hosts up in the top here with their names underneath. In this case, because of the design, if we didn't want to do a whole redesign, I'd pop them up here and use this bullet to talk about why the workshop is important. I think the call to action is fine. Access the training with some arrows. The button is nice. You could obviously test some different calls to action. I don't see a problem with this though. This is a nice subheadline. During our 12 days together, you'll discover. This is well done. I like using this sort of headline myself. It immediately sets the reader up contextually with so they know what to expect in the coming section. Now, based on everything that we saw above, my goal for looking at these bullets would be trying to find something that I could actually put in this section after you've freed up all the space regarding the what of the program. Which begs the question, well, what makes a good bullet point? And essentially here, what I would want to do is address all the objections that people have and also tell them why these workshops are so freaking awesome, why they're the best things since sliced bread, and they have to be doing this now. And actually, before I analyze these bullet points, we have to sort of take a step back and talk about the audience that we're targeting. Because based on the language here, I am assuming that this is more on the lines of biz opportunity being presented to people who don't have a current business, they don't have a current stream of income, and the chance to create a business around workshops or retreats or seminars. That's the big objective here. I see nothing to indicate that this is for people with an existing business who want to add another income stream. If that assumption is correct, then we have to consider the state of awareness of our prospect. This sort of individual, before we even talk about how to run a successful workshop, we have to talk about why workshops are cool and why they should care about workshops in the first place. If you look at some of Frank Kern's recent work, or any of the numerous marketers who basically copy what he's doing, then you'd see when he starts talking about, say, info products, for example, one of the very first things he talks about is how it's, a multi-billion-dollar a year industry growing at such and such a rate, and it's going to double in so many years, and you should get on this train before the market saturates and the opportunity is lost. That sort of thing. Why are workshops, retreats, and seminars so freaking awesome? Is it that you get to make a ton of money, that you get to work just a couple days a month? Is it some combination of that? Is it something else entirely? Is it the opportunity to touch hundreds or thousands of people at once? Don't take that the wrong way. That's a different type of sin. In other words, this idea of wealth through workshops, what does that concretely mean in a very tangible sense, in the most tangible sense? It doesn't have to be, oh, here's how to make 6 figures or 7 figures through workshops. That's not the only way, but there has to be some sort of communication of value here. And by that I mean something beyond life-changing, because anything could be life-changing, and life-changing in and of itself might not be a positive thing, right? So more specificity in terms of describing why the workshop itself is important. Now, that being said, if we're looking at these bullets, say we've done that. Say we have a page where we talk about why workshops are awesome, or the prospects landing on this page have already been shown that information, maybe in the ad or in a video that they saw before being retargeted and led to this page. Say that upfront work has been done, and they know why workshops are cool. Great. Now let's look at these bullet points. I said before that bullets should answer objections and give reasons why they should care, that is. The other thing that these can be targeting are the main pain points that the prospects are feeling. So obviously filling a workshop is one of the main pain points that people are going to be feeling. But it's not the only one. And here we see that 1, 2, 3, and debatably 4 of the 6 bullet points are targeting this singular pain point. I can think of a couple others off the top of my head. For one, if you're selling to newbies who have never done business presentations before, they don't have experience running workshops or anything like that, then one of the questions that they're going to have is, what should I present? And honestly, even if we're not dealing with newbies, that could be a question that really anyone has. What should you present in order to have the happiest clients, get the most testimonials, make the most money on the back end, get people signed up into coaching programs, whatever the benefit happens to be? Another question would be, how do you actually do a great presentation? A lot of people are afraid of public speaking, and that is a very real barrier to people even wanting to run a workshop or a seminar. And that might be something worth addressing. The only real way to know for sure is to actually talk to your clients, to your target audience, and figure out what's actually going on in their minds. But I can say for a fact that any target audience will have more than one singular desire or one singular pain point that has to be overcome. So with those 4 bullet points sort of targeting one pain point, let's take a quick look at the others, and then I'll dive into these in a bit more detail. So, a copy of my book, Wealth Through Workshops. This does not really have any intrinsic value. Again, this is the what. Oh, great. You're sending me a book. Why should I care? Why should I care? Why should I care? Why should I care? What's the benefit? It's fine to say this if you're a Tim Ferriss or Ramit Sethi or someone else with a New York Times bestseller, and everyone knows who you are and that you've written this specific book. But for most of us, this is not a compelling benefit. So I would change this to something that is more value oriented. Let's see, why live events are an optimal tool for client transformation. Why does this matter to me right now? I have no business, I have no workshops, I have no people in my workshops. What sort of advantage does this give me? I believe that there is something here if we were to dig deeper and figure out what that was. Right now, it's too surface level. Right now, I don't see what the benefit is for me as the reader. Is it, for example, that clients who go through these transformations, do they refer more people, give better testimonials, buy more often? What is the concrete, tangible benefit that I'm going to receive for creating those transformations in my clients? The warm, fuzzy feeling I'll get inside is nice, but not even that has been expressed here. Okay, so let's take a closer look at some of these bullets regarding the event filling. So first of all, bullet 1 and bullet 2, we have an event filling blueprint and an event filling framework. Immediately we can scratch one of these out and open up space for something else that's new and different. Now, if we're talking about the blueprint here, this might be a great place to say the 5 steps to take before every workshop or to launch every workshop, something just a little more specific, because how to ensure that every workshop, seminar, and retreat is full sounds a little bit iffy. It's not super convincing and it's not super compelling. It's like this second bullet has a little more something to it. And it doesn't have to be hypey. You don't have to talk about how this blueprint or this framework or system or whatever will have people lining up in the streets or like a Black Friday sort of mad rush through your doors. But there has to be more emotional content here. This is very cut and dry, high level, and not particularly compelling. So this is closer to something that's interesting, but it's still too similar to these 2 bullets. So I would say something more like 5 cheap and easy ways to find ideal clients who want to come to workshops, who are specifically looking for what you have to offer. I mean, not word for word, but using that idea, I could see this working. Again, I'm writing copy off the cuff here, and it will need a lot of refinement, but that immediately is a way to improve this and make it somehow different from these. So where do you actually go out and find these perfect clients, the people who will sign up and show up and tell other people how great the event was? You can talk about that here. 5 cheap and easy ways to do that. All right, we're almost there. Looking at the final bullet, the tantalizing title template. I guess I'll give them a point for effort with the alliteration. And templates certainly are awesome, but really this bullet suffers from essentially the same problem as all the others. This benefit is extremely high level. It's lacking specificity, and I would dig deeper. And I would also talk to more of my clients and try to find out what else is stopping them from either getting started in the whole workshop biz, or depending on the exact type of client avatar we're talking about, what's stopping them from executing these workshops successfully. So in conclusion, this page really suffers from one of the most basic marketing sins of all: not enough reason why. Talking about what we're doing and why we're awesome, but not why you should care as the reader. But fortunately, by following the advice in this video, and more importantly, talking to your audience often, figuring out what the heck it is that they want, what they're struggling with, and forcing yourself to more and more specificity and going deeper and deeper into those emotional triggers and reasons why, etc., that will turn this page. Those will be the things that turn this page into a marketing winner. So now I'll pass it over to you. What did you learn watching this video? Do you agree with my assessments, or am I wrong about everything? Let me know in the comments below, and if you want to be featured on Marketing Sins, then you can submit your site by joining my Facebook group. It's called Crushing Conversion. I will leave a link in the description, and I'll talk to you again next time.